Well, good morning and welcome to the island of Oahu here in Hawaii. We're on Waikiki Beach, looking at a beautiful sunrise. We're gonna go to Pearl Harbor today, and we are at the scene of a devastating surprise attack by Japanese forces against the U.S. Navy. I'm zooming across the harbor there at the Arizona Memorial, USS Arizona, and the USS Missouri is over there. If we get a chance, we'll go to both of those. I'm definitely interested in seeing the USS Arizona Memorial. This bell was recovered from the USS Arizona. And we did sign up for standby tickets. We kind of lucked out. I think we're going to be able to get to the Arizona. One of the things Japan had to do in order to carry off the attack was use torpedoes that were specifically geared towards shallow water. Tora Tora Tora, that's their code that they use to signify surprise achieved. This piece of metal was recovered from the USS Arizona. It was sticking up above water, and they took it out to make room for the memorial. And this model sort of shows the Arizona Memorial in relation to the Arizona itself. Winston Churchill said after the attacks here that now he knew that the U.S. was in the war, up to the neck and to the death. There's a picture of Japan surrendering on the deck of the USS Missouri. Now, even though the Pearl Harbor attack was a surprise, Japan and the U.S. had not exactly been seeing eye to eye for a while. The U.S. was very uneasy with Japan's growing hostility towards China, and when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, it did so with the idea of preemptively keeping the U.S. from interfering with Japan's military plans in that region of the world. Just before 8 a.m. on December 7th, 1941, Japanese planes filled these skies. And within 2 hours, every battleship in Pearl Harbor had been significantly damaged. Of course, the biggest explosion happened at 8:10 a.m. when an 1,800-pound bomb smashed through the deck of the U.S. Arizona and landed in her forward ammunition magazine. The ship exploded and sank with more than 1,000 men trapped inside. When all was said and done that day, 2,403 U.S. personnel had been killed, with another 1,178 being wounded. Japan had suffered 129 casualties. President Roosevelt called December 7th, 1941, a day that would live in infamy. Congress formally declared war on Japan. Japanese Admiral Yamamoto famously stated, "I fear all we have done is to awaken a sleeping giant and fill him with a terrible resolve." As bad as the Pearl Harbor attack was, the U.S. Pacific Fleet was not destroyed. The U.S. still had its aircraft carriers, all of which were not here the day of the attacks. And even here at Pearl Harbor, the base's most crucial onshore facilities like oil storage depots, repair shops, shipyards, and submarine docks were still operational. The U.S. Navy was able to quickly recover and began to fight back. Eventually, of course, after many fierce battles, the U.S. was able to force Japan's surrender, which was formalized on the deck of the USS Missouri, which we see across the harbor on September 2nd, 1945. Well, there's a lot of things we're not going to get to see today, but right now we're looking at one of 3 anchors from the USS Arizona. When the ship exploded, this anchor was ejected into the harbor. It weighs 19,585 pounds. Another anchor is at the Arizona State Capitol, and one is unaccounted for. All right, well, I appreciate you exploring with us today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.